How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. And just generally, like, the idea of prisons, like, they don't really fulfill what they're set out to do. Because people leave prison more fucked up than when they went in. Like, that's the universal experience. I think Paul Bernardo actually got a degree in prison, but he's not getting out, so.
Yeah, so he's going to be smart in prison.
Which, I mean, whatever. I guess there's inherent value in that, but I don't think he's a great guy.
No. I think he'd probably lose his mind if he didn't have any kind of stimulation because he doesn't have any contact with any other inmates.
And by all accounts, he was a really intelligent person, so that would drive someone up the... Yeah. But I don't actually know if that's true. I don't know if Paul Bernardo has done anything. We can look it up, actually.
That's a crazy way to get a degree.
That's one way to not go into debt for school, I guess. Just go to prison for 5 years.
Not to obsess over Paul Bernardo, but he was trying to be a rapper.
What?
He was trying to rap.
In prison?
Not in prison. Well, if he did that, he probably would have been killed. It's horrible. It's videotaped. I go through periods where I get obsessed with murderers and I watch all sorts of shit. Yeah, it kind of ebbs and flows. I'm all about life and then all about death.
I think that there's some truth to some conspiracy theories, but that by and large conspiracy theories are sort of a lazy way to say, like, the government is against us, and that's kind of true in some ways, but not for the simplistic reasons that people think. You have to actually do some research and digging and from reputable sources, because there's a lot of nonsense out there. Like, the internet is the information age, but also the age of, like, infinite stupidity. And, like, all the stupid people can congregate, and then their voices get really loud. What I wrote on my application to law school was that I'd done an internship in India at a human rights legal network, and seeing how the law could be used as a tool for social justice. Prestige isn't exactly the right word, but, like, lawyers have a certain authority, and it just comes with the title, right? So I didn't want to be a doctor, I didn't want to be a dentist, and I didn't want to be an accountant. I wanted to do something that actually was engaging me with society.
We need people like you to be the voice for people like me, like us.
I think you have your own voice, Jessi. Jessi. Sorry, I was looking at you and talking to you. And you don't look similar, but, like, you also complement each other. Because you both have, like, the curly hair, but, like, one is up and one is down. And, always big smiles, and I don't know. Yeah, you guys are like a duo.
Too. I think we all.
It's funny.
We're happy people here.
We're happy, shiny, happy people holding hands.
Oh, what a good song.
What was the last song you listened to today?
Probably a wrestling theme song, but I'm not sure whose.
A wrestling theme song because wrestling was on?
No, it was a YouTube compilation of different wrestling entrance themes.
Is it stuck in your head now? Is it memorable?
Yeah. It's like a weird, like, trumpet sound, like do 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 do, but I can't really do it.
Do you believe in extraterrestrials?
I believe that it doesn't really make sense that we're the only, like, conscious beings in the entire universe, but I don't think I believe in, like, Martians, or, like, the men of Mars.
Men of Mars, like life.
Like people on Mars, like little green men. Actually, I've read or listened to these wild theories that, like, the Earth has already been colonized by aliens, and they're harvesting something through us, or just weird shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, ancient alien kind of
Totally
jazz. It is possible, and some of it sounds more plausible than others, but then they draw these ridiculous conclusions, and it's like, okay, yeah, again, this is why people need to think critically about things you're told.
What are the ridiculous conclusions that you've heard? I'm so curious.
I wish that I had, like, a real one at the top of my head. Okay, here's one that's like a Da Vinci-ish one, right? Like a Da Vinci Code kind of thing. It's like they'll see a painting and, like, the position of the legs forms the word vegan, and it's like, no, it doesn't. Like, yes, it does, but no, it doesn't.
You mean reading into things?
Right. And that's a lot of what some conspiracy theory stuff is. But, like, there is truth to the fact that a very small group of people control a lot of things, right? Because if you think about like corporate structure in the US, and basically you can have, you know, a corporation, and then like a corporation that really owns that corporation, and then a corporation that owns those two corporations, and it's a parent, and like it's children and stepchildren, and it's weird because corporations are people in the law. Anyway, so at the very top of that chain, there's only a handful of big ones. And those handfuls are controlled by small groups of people who probably get together and hang out at strip clubs on the weekend or on Wednesdays because they can do whatever the fuck they want because they own everything. But see, no, that's where I disagree. They probably don't perform satanic rituals. They are just really wealthy people who have mutual interests and make things work according to their whims, right? And they're the ones who write and affect the laws in a lot of ways, and that's something that is cause for concern for everyone.
I kind of like the folklore version of it, though, just visually. Picturing all these politicians with all these, like, what do you call those, like, flames? What do you call it? Torch flames? Pitchforks, even.
Yeah, okay.
Sacrificing
the robes, yeah.
someone.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know Alex Jones?
Like a little bit. I try not to. Yeah.
Yeah, he's quite a character, huh?
Yeah, he's an idiot. I don't want to say too much about him because I can't speak without like knowing. I just know that in vague terms. I've like listened to some of his stuff, and some of it is kind of maybe partially true. Like I think he's an intelligent man, but I think people who listen to him are stupid. If they don't think critically about what he's saying and like follow up and triangulate your sources and don't just look to a bunch of related sources, like get your information from different places and draw your own conclusions.
Would you agree, though, that generally people hear what they want to hear? Because I know when I go online, I'm looking for stuff to validate.
Yeah, confirmation bias is a very real thing.
It's really what we're drawn to, right?
And I think in some ways, like, the internet exacerbates that because it's very easy to isolate yourself and find your little community of like-minded crazy people, and you can all just be crazy together, and it's you against the world, right? So everyone has their own perception of reality, but at the end of the day, some things are true and some things are not. The more that people listen to something that contradicts their reality, like the more they cling to what they believe. Like it's how anti-vaxxers exist, right? Like all of the science, literally all of the science contradicts. And the original one document that it's all based on was proven to be false. But you still have Jenny McCarthy out there preaching to her audience, and like kids who are now dying because they didn't get vaccines that would have prevented the illnesses they died from. Because you're afraid your kid would become autistic, which is like, what? Like, there are autistic people in the world who have inherent value, you know? So the entire premise is flawed, but I guess, again, people can be... I love people, but they can be stupid.
Well, I think sometimes people want to be entertained.
That's also true. That's why anyone cares about Brad and Angelina breaking up.
Right? I don't know. I don't really like the idea of two, like, super attractive people together.
What?
I don't know. It's like, I feel like it's just ridiculous. It's like, come on now. Like, Brad Pitt, he pouts.
Tell me some interesting murderer story.
Oh my god, there's so many. There's so
Who's your
many.
favorite murderer?
I'm trying to lay off on this, but there's so many.
I'll confess, I love, I think it's a Time magazine photo shoot of various last meals, and like they recreated the meal and took a picture, and I love it. What would you have for yours?
As my last meal?
Yeah.
I'd be nauseous if I knew it was coming.
Really?
Yeah. I bet I'd want a frozen yogurt.
Okay.
From up the street. But I'd say, listen, I want a bowl. I don't want a little portion. I want all the flavors. I don't know.
It's like, could be my last bowl of ice cream.
Yeah, maybe we should just try
No,
it.
it is your last bowl of ice cream. You're about to die. I would like some fried chicken and like a little piece of steak, not too much, with like big garlic shrimp and lasagna.
Like, do you really need to take out another animal?
The animal's already dead in the grocery store.
Okay.
Okay?
And it's
Let me have my last fucking meal.
My bad. Sorry.
No, I'm kidding. What's up, folks? Oh, are you taping?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We're just chilling. You're welcome to.
Came in and intruded.
No,
Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
Part of the flow.
We're just talking about God.
How's your day? Yeah.
Guys, I have, well, I can't, don't report this.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that
Why
was,
is that not a good thing?
no, it is a good thing. Actually, no, I have a new client, that's fine.
Woo!
But it was like someone who
Nice.
contacted me through like Google, not someone who, not a referral, because my cases
Yeah.
so far have been like lawyers who can't like take on someone to sort of punt them onto me.
Yeah.
But no, this is like a legit person who wanted me.
Awesome.
That's amazing. You're like a budding.
Yeah, I call myself that because it's like weed budding.
Budding.
Budding legal professional.
So
Nice.
are you open with your
Cannabis
advocacy?
use.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's cool.
My Twitter sort of
Right?
lays it all out there.
It's so crazy how
Perfect.
how open people are with their like drinking, and then they go to work and they have bloated faces from fucking drinking.
I know.
You know that after the day after.
Or like the smell, like you still
oh
smell
my God.
like
I
alcohol.
can't handle it. It's so unappetizing.
Day after
I'm like, you know what
alcohol.
I say? It smells like rotting fruit. And those glasses are perfect for like the career, like the red glasses. They're your signature.
Signature.
Yeah.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Did you not have them when we met you?
I think I might have been in contacts, which were also a new thing to
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
And then
Okay.
prior to that, I was in just like
Yeah.
shitty, ugly glasses. I was raised Muslim, and even there, like
Yeah.
it's a personal relationship between
Oh,
you and
for
the
sure.
creator. So, like, yes, it's an organized religion, but it really emphasizes, like, you know, your link with your creator. Growing older and into myself, like, I conceptualize it maybe a little differently than I was taught, but I think the same fundamentals are still there. But, like, I think we're all connected and shit.
Did you say I think we're all living on the edge?
We're all connected and shit.
Of
Are you trying to say
furniture.
we're all brothers and sisters?
That's a little incestuous.
But isn't it the truth? In your practice, do you like would you swear in a courtroom? Is that a good idea? Is that
Like, as part of my...
yeah? Is that
speak-
ever?
like,
Is it ever like a,
The only time it's appropriate to swear in a courtroom is if you're quoting. So is it true that you then said fuck off or whatever? But you
Okay.
can't just be like, Your Honor, this is a fucking joke. You can't do that.
even though? But I mean, even though a lot of lawyers must want to do that though.
Yeah, I swear like
God.
a sailor
In
all
your
of
mind?
the time.
In your mind though.
No, out loud.
Not in the courtroom.
No, because that's the only time I can keep it in. And that sort of
I guess it goes like for
leads into the
anything.
rest of my life. Like, I'll be in a playground and like
I think it's
accidentally
actually probably
cussing.
just generally bad
Hey, you
business
know
to
what?
swear.
I'm gonna interrupt this love fest for a moment.
This love
to
fest.
share this little tidbit with you.
Okay.
People that piss on the toilet seat and don't clean it off
Right?
are fucks. You know
I
why?
agree.
Because then I go
Okay.
in and I have to pee, and now I have to clean up somebody
Yeah, so-
else's piss, so the next person doesn't look at me and go,
Yeah, I
John
always do that.
peed on the seat and didn't clean it up.
Yeah. You know, sometimes
like-
it's so bad,
Yeah.
you're like, I can't even, I'm just gonna have to hold it. Like, really suck it in. No, I'm serious.
That's
You know when
bad.
it's really that bad that you just like, I can't even try to wipe this.
Yeah.
Hey.
Your look is very nice.
I know.
Very.
Thank you.
We need a nice long filter
Oh,
for
like
your,
Audrey
for
Hepburn
your
ass.
joint.
I
yeah.
appreciate that because I was on TV today.
You were? That's awesome. What TV? On the news?
Yeah, I'm gonna be on Omni at like 9, and then it's called Fairchild. I don't know. It's a Chinese like media outlet, and then eventually, hopefully, CBC. I won my case at the Landlord and Tenant Board,
That's
and it was a
amazing.
fairly
That's
like
good.
high profile. So
Yeah.
we held a little press conference to do like a media statement and talk about our reactions, next steps, and so anyway, the thing went well, and apparently I look pretty, so thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you
Cyndi.
do. You do.
Thank you.
So what's going to happen with them moving forward? Are they going to stay in the building?
I mean, and I can say this because normally, like, you wouldn't be able to talk about your clients, but this is all like, on the record because they're very passionate about their story. And media strategy has been part of our case from day one. So
In this case,
Media.
social
Yeah.
media is really
yeah, it's been
beneficial
very
thing.
important because I think that a lot of things have gone viral lately that sort of expose racism in areas where you wouldn't either expect to find it or you might be surprised to find it. I think that for people of color, it's not that surprising, but for whatever reason, it's hot news right now.
Yeah.
And if I can be part of like that exposure, like I'm very excited. So
Wow. And some justice.
yeah,
Poetic justice.
like I borrow your letter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's an awesome way to introduce yourself.
It feels sort of like a rebirth, so it's kind of nice.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I articled like at a firm on Bay Street, and it's a great firm. It just wasn't the right fit for me in terms of the type of law I was practicing, and for a lot of like personal reasons, I just wasn't in like my best space. It's a top firm, and I always felt like I kind of botched it, which I did, and that was partly my fault and partly there were outside factors. But anyway, didn't leave at the highest point and was sort of questioning whether I even wanted to practice law. Like one of my ideas was to make an ebook, and by make an ebook I mean one already existed, so I wanted to adapt an ebook on educating women about how to deal with like basic problems with their cars. So like, here are some things you need to keep in your car at all times. Here's how to do like an oil change. Here's how to do this,
That makes
that.
so much sense.
Because
It's
you
like
know, a lot of
survival.
people rely on others. Here's the funny part. I actually don't even drive. Like I don't have a car. I have no interest in cars. I was just looking for anything that wasn't law, but luckily
Is there
I
an
changed
app?
my mind and then became
Is
a
there an
lawyer.
app that does that now?
Okay, yeah, so I guess I can plug this thing that I was gonna
Yeah.
not plagiarize, but yeah. Australia, it was an Australian website, and I'm pretty sure they used the word fanny, but I'm not 100% sure. But like, it was this very cool illustrated guide, and I wanted to adapt some parts of it because I still thought it was very like dense. The point being, I don't know anything about cars. That was not like the best idea. It's a good idea for
It's a
someone
great
else.
idea.
Yeah.
And I wanted to partner with this all-female auto shop.
Wow.
Yeah, there's one in Toronto. Again, I forgot the name because I feel like my brain is a toilet sometimes.
Yeah.
It just,
The motor for the sound effects for what you're talking about.
a motorized toilet. No, but like it just gets filled with information, and then like you have to flush it and then just reuse it. But like, and mostly the information is shitty. Anyway, that was a good idea, but not for me. And yeah, law school.
See, when you said a business with women in a car, what is it? A car,
Oh, like a body shop?
a body shop? I
Yeah.
immediately thought about a calendar with pictures in it. That's where my mind goes. Did you do that too?
No, I
With
didn't,
hoses,
but
like
that's
what
a nice
the?
idea.
To be fair, I think about that for firemen too.
Right? Is this kind of, it goes hand in hand with that. Why does it go hand in
Doesn't
hand
do
with
it
that
for
world?
me. It just
we're-
doesn't do it for me. If I'm going to see a calendar, I'd rather see a woman, to be honest.
A woman?
I'd
Yeah.
rather.
Yeah.
I love men.
Yeah.
But I'd rather
That was
look
the
at a
most
woman.
earnest I've ever heard you
I
sound.
love men.
No, it
Which
was
part?
just
Which part?
the I love men. It was like truth there. No, I agree. I think women's bodies are nicer.
But does it turn you on when you see the woman's body? Yeah? Do you feel aroused?
No, I think it's just beautiful. I don't feel
Okay.
aroused in like.
Really?
that
Ever? When you see breasts?
No, I get
That's
I
really
get excited,
interesting.
but I don't feel that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
She's gesturing to her crotch.
A stirring motion. That's so interesting. See, I'm still doing that thing I've done since childhood, which is everybody must feel this way. It can't just be me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I assume everybody has the same things, but they just act on it or don't act on it.
Yeah.
But there's different degrees. See what I'm talking about? The music? I was saying, I don't like the music that back here. It's too constant, it's too loud. Like, anyways, isn't it too much? Constant.
I know what you mean. It's not like mellow background. Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
This is like rap, so
Yeah. Anyways, whatever.
it sounds like we're
We're at a club.
yeah.
So what were we talking about?
Arousal.
Oh, arousal.
I don't know. Did we move on
We
from
moved on
arousal?
from that, yeah.
Cars to arousal.
Regards to arousal.
No, thinking like everyone thinks like you.
Calendars.
Talent.
Yeah. I think that's a problem a lot of people have. Like they assume that everyone else sees things in the way they
That's
do.
right.
If you could step outside of yourself a little bit more.
It's true.
Like, the same set of events from like different perspectives can be completely like different.
It's true.
And that's, like on a personal level, but even like a social and political level. It's like different groups experience things differently.
Right.
So the way you see something or whatever, it's someone else can see the total opposite.
Yeah, this is a high table.
It's a high table. I feel like we're in Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. It's true, I feel tiny.
Right?
I like it.
Yeah.
I had dim sum for the first time
Oh,
today.
how did you like
First
it?
time ever?
Yeah, I have never gone because I don't eat pork, so I'm like sort of intimidated by the idea of people pushing things around where I know that there's a lot of pork in the food and
Sure.
like not being able to communicate that properly. But I went with like speakers of Cantonese. These shrimp dumplings, they were so good. And it's sort of like tapas, right? Like it's just like a bunch of little small plates, and then you get charged for what you eat. It's like a reverse buffet.
I want a dim sum of lovers.
Of lovers? A dim sum.
I can't just do one.
Wow.
Okay. That's
How would you?
kind of an interesting visual. I like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Because they push them around, like they push the food around
Yeah.
in carts. So I'm imagining like
People kind of in the fetal position. Small.
you're describing like a
Naked.
sex slave shop.
Yeah. On a tray.
No, what's like a dungeon? You're describing a sex dungeon. They're all on trays in the fetal position,
Right.
being served to you.
Is that your ultimate fantasy?
No. I'm like, I have like, what are my, what? I don't know.
Play with it in
I don't
my
know if
head
I
for a
could
little
actually
bit.
say what my ultimate fantasy is.
Oh, really?
I don't know
Like,
if it's
'cause it's illegal,
I don't know if
or-
it's legal in the city. No, it's probably legal. I haven't really thought it through, so I don't want to commit to it.
I think it's hard to like. How could you have just one?
Right? Yeah, that's true. But like,
Depending
what's
on
the
the
main
mood.
one?
I don't know. Yeah.
Once in a while, I fantasize about like a guy with a really hairy belly and chest. Because I remember Tom Selleck and freaking I was gonna say and Magnum PI. They're the same people. But Tom Selleck and Burt Reynolds. I grew up in that, and that was like the picture of sexuality at the time, male sexuality. So now I get turned on by hairy mustached men.
I wish that was the picture of female sexuality because I grow hair like a motherfucker.
Right?
And I hate it. And so the idea of that repulses me because if I have to suffer through waxing, like so should everyone else.
Right? Yeah.
No,
No.
that's not true.
It can't
But I
be
mean,
one-sided.
Like my partner should also suffer.
Yeah, it should be mutual. It can't be just one unless you're okay with it being either or.
It's very hard maintaining like Western
Right?
standards of media. It's bullshit.
Oh my god. Well, you know, guys, since I've been in a committed relationship, I have forgotten about shaving my legs. And it turns out it doesn't matter.
Do you hear that? Say it again.
I said since I've been in a relationship, I've stopped shaving my legs. And it doesn't matter. To him, even. But it's just a different...
He's like, it matters.
But he's... Anyways. Show me. No! I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it. See, I'm kind of closeted. I'm a closeted natural woman. Not that you're not natural if you shave it, because that, anyways. It's really just laziness and time.
Yeah.
And like, I don't feel like
it's time and
grinding.
pain for me.
Yeah, it's like if you want my legs to be smooth, you shave them for me.
Like the annoying part is that I actually like feel better and prefer.
Oh, for
not
sure.
having.
I know.
But then, on the other hand, it's like fuck it.
And you wax?
And literally, fuck it.
Do you get it done? Or do you do it yourself?
But
The waxing.
no, I definitely don't wax myself.
God.
I have like a membership card for facial, like
Oh, nice.
so face wax and like threading, and like the fact that I even need a membership for hair removal on my face, like what?
Well,
Why?
You know what? We've been talking to so many women
Why?
who've been talking about going natural. And I feel like if we all stick together and do it together, then it'll be a movement.
Pretty natural. Sometimes
No, but I
look
definitely like it. Also, for me, like is a difference in my appearance, and I feel better.
I know.
So
I
it's
feel
like,
I'm insane. Like
then
I
it's
don't.
like fine, okay, I'm doing it for myself. But then it's like, but really, if I had the choice, I would just
I think it really
be a
just,
hermit. So it
for
wouldn't
me, I
matter.
think that it like really depends on your social circles. You're
Yeah.
definitely in a position where these
Yeah.
kind of things do matter.
Yeah, that's
Whereas I'm a dog walker, so who gives
Yeah.
a shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah, dog walkers, right? I feel like that there'd be lots of bohemian hairiness going on.
For sure. For sure.
I should go there.
I don't know if that's school or work or whatever. Is there a way that we can like make this transition as smooth as possible?
Is it okay if I play this recording to them and say what she said? I'm gonna play that and I'm gonna say what she said. That's my lawyer friend. You wanna fuck with me? Imagine I make like a big scene. No one likes a sourpuss. Is it bad that I'm wishing that the speakers suddenly break? I won't do anything. It's just mind powers. Sometimes I don't want to hear reggae, or I don't want to hear rap, or I don't want to hear anything. I just want to hear everybody's sweet voices.
Mental illness is something that underlies a lot of criminality. I don't know the stats offhand, but I am comfortable, saying that a vast majority of people who are in detention have some sort of mental health issue. And then when you consider other factors, so poverty is a big one, addiction, homelessness, those are various things that we criminalize that we probably shouldn't. And it can make people difficult to deal with, right? It makes them more volatile, like less predictable, just generally unpleasant sometimes.
And then they get alienated.
For sure. And then it's a reinforcing cycle, right?
Yeah.
So you don't trust anyone, and then because you don't trust anyone, no one helps you.
It's like a tornado.
Yeah, and it can be very vicious.
Do you feel like there's a certain stigma attached to defending someone who took someone hostage? Do you predict that people will have an issue with this?
I haven't really thought about it, to be honest.
And it doesn't matter to you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Because if it did, it'd be like,
There are some crimes where it's like, how can you defend that person?
Yeah.
But the answer is like simple, like you defend them because that's your role in the system.
Right, and also things are more than just what they are at face value, right?
The world is very nuanced,
Yeah.
and everyone's entitled to have their interests represented.
Exactly.
Clearly and coherently.
So, being someone in law, at the end of the day, what do you do to relax?
I don't know. There's never relaxing. I don't know.
Is there any such thing as
I don't remember.
relaxing? Do you dream about
Massage.
this? Massage.
See?
Segue.
Another reason.
Do you know what? I have to
Bartering
say
a little
something.
bit.
I don't know if Jessie's touched you yet, but when she's giving me a massage, it was at the Hot Box actually. I had to take a taxi home because that's how good it was.
Oh, wow.
She fingered my neck. No, she put her hands. She massaged my neck, but she was like going around the bones and like I was like, holy shit! It was amazing. I could feel it around each bone. I don't know what you did, but I remember I'm like, I can't take public transit home. I gotta take a taxi home.
Did you actually feel good?
It felt amazing. I think I napped when I got home.
Honest to God, I thought it was going to be like, Michael Storms is now represented by a lawyer, Caryma Sa'd, and that was like it. That's what I anticipated. Because we were just adjourning the matter, right? We didn't like do anything on Tuesday. It was just putting it over till next week so that we can have time to prepare.
So how much can you discuss as far as like, because like that's in the media, right? Already the story's in the media.
Yeah.
How much of the case can you discuss in a public manner? Is it all of it when it's as public as it is?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I'm still bound by the solicitor-client privilege.
Sure. Yeah.
What's unique about this situation is that, he wants things public. So that's kind of an element there. But actually, even when you receive your disclosure from the Crown, and that the Crown's evidence against an accused person, it's called the disclosure, but you're not allowed to use that for any other purpose. So it's not like I can go and find the police notes and then take that to the Star and say, look, this actually happened. That's not how that works.
Yeah.
All of that's for trial. So truthfully, I will be speaking very little about the actual, facts and specifics of the incident and the case.
And I'm like, I want to be open with everything that I believe in, and I want
they can
that
come
to
to
be
you.
their model.
Yeah.
I want them to be whatever they want to be, Because I definitely didn't have that growing up. There's no being whatever you want. Oh my God, I'm confessing. This weed is deep.
No,
but,
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Anyways, not to be lame or anything, but if it wasn't for all those teachers that encouraged me,
And teachers, and I don't know about you, but for me, like in not just school teachers,
Yeah.
but like teachers everywhere.
Oh,
you
for
know?
sure, in life.
Yeah.
People that say things and you're like, oh, you know?
Yeah, make you think about things differently.
For sure. The whole process, like, I don't know if you're like this with your business, the whole process of building your business or whatever, it's so like, there's so much self-reflection that happens,
Self-doubt can be one of the biggest hurdles.
right?
Yeah.
It totally is. Yeah. The whole thing, no one's stopping you but yourself.
It's sort of true, but like also bullshit.
I know. See, that's the thing. That's why I'm very kind of tempted to do the gastric bypass surgery to lose weight. Because I'm like 40. I'm like, how much easier is it going to get? Like, it's hard for like my brain.
Like, I mean, yeah, in the end, it's a medical decision, right?
Right,
So
I know.
if you have a doctor's okay and you've gone through like the pros and cons or whatever, don't not do it for some moral, like,
I know
I should
people-
be working harder for
No,
this.
I know. See,
like,
that, and whenever people say,
people
oh,
will tell
just
that
have
to you,
willpower.
but just like, fuck them.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
people do all sorts of surgeries all the time. And if you have a
Yeah.
doctor who's on board with prescribing it, then,
Yeah.
you know, as long as they're a good doctor, then
Yeah.
you're probably doing the right thing.
How's it going? Christ is king. He's like,
This game.
Christ is king.
Go follow.
Go
Is he just
follow.
like guest appearances?
Guest
in all
appearance,
of the
right?
episodes?
It's true. It's true.
Discussion.
I don't know. We've gone all over the place today, and now I've been talking about like my woes in my life, like my. But now I'm like, you know, I'm gonna let go of that shit. That's my past. I'm gonna let go of that. It doesn't define me.
That's it.
Is this the joint I rolled? Jesus Christ! You know when you smoke so much weed that you don't even remember when you stopped and when you started. Did you say hickory sticks?
Yeah, fuck, I love
Picture
this.
hickory sticks in the brownie.
I feel like I prefer to eat them separately.
Yeah.
But that's maybe just me. I don't know.
Crunch. You don't eat bacon. I would say, do you ever try the bacon cookie? There's
No.
a cookie where they put meat in the fucking cookie.
Weird.
It was, I don't know, it's at a
good?
bakery. The bakery closed down, so I don't know how well they do.
Oh.
But I've heard of that kind of.
I saw that
jerky.
Krispy Kreme, right? Where they had like Krispy Kreme and wrapped in bacon and shit.
Oh my god, that's insane.
Yeah, the cronut.
That's crazy. That's like.
Say that again.
Heard
I
of
believe
that.
it was like a Krispy Kreme with like wrapped in bacon.
That's insane.
Yeah, like a heart attack waiting
That's
to
a
happen.
suicide.
I think even more than like indica sativa matters like the THC and CBD. Like I feel like the other two are just categories that are becoming increasingly meaningless, and certainly the names mean nothing anymore.
Right? Oh yeah. They're just.
Yeah, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Alien. Like I just gave
Is that? Does that exist?
That is a
Was
real
it
thing.
good?
Yeah, it was good. Also, the cronut is a croissant donut, but definitely there is a Krispy Kreme wrapped in bacon somewhere at carnivals and some shit. Probably is deep fried after that.
At King's Cafe, they have a baked avocado with melted cheese on top. It's called the avocado melt. It's amazing.
I like avocado on grilled cheese.
That would be good.
Avocado, tomato, the cheese.
Just like slices
Yeah.
of avocado.
Yeah, and mustard.
Oh my god, that sounds actually amazing.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Oh, they had like a pickled egg in it that had this salty lime flavor. Jessie didn't taste lime, and she wasn't as crazy about it, but she liked the dish. It was like freaking breaded chicken with a curry on a rice with fresh tomato slices and fresh cucumber, and then this pickled egg. That
Sounds
was
like maybe
actually good.
Korean food, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But anyways, I had gone, and then I went back the next day with Jessie, and so we're sitting there. We got bubble tea too, and they brought us like a what do you call it? A complimentary appetizer. Because I think they were happy that we came back. So I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. I actually gave it to Superman because it was the meal was so heavy we couldn't eat the appetizer.
What was the appetizer?
The appetizer was like these little like chicken like cluster fried like breaded with like a sauce on it. It's actually quite good.
I wish I was here earlier.
Oh, but the thing is,
Yeah,
I'm
your
like, I
appetizers.
totally forgot. Yeah, I totally forgot that I ate. I'm like, I'm not full anymore. It's crazy how that can happen. I ate that.
I know, our stomachs are...
Oh, it's so confusing. We have a lawyer friend. It's cool.
Oh my god, I am the lawyer friend.